doing too much work. Sorry about that. He's alone a lot back there.
So, will I see you on Sunday?
Yeah, I think you will. Might be solo. My wife's not real interested.
Oh, too bad. But I will be glad to see you.
A character from Young Sheldon, Sarah Baker's Ms. Hutchins, will return in an upcoming episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, set to air on January 30th. Ms. Hutchins, who appeared in 14 Young Sheldon episodes as Medford High's librarian, is expected to bring some wisdom to Georgie and possibly help with his tensions with Mandy. Her return follows the trend of Georgie and Mandy featuring familiar Young Sheldon characters, including Mary, Meemaw, and Missy. Despite mixed reviews, the show continues to explore Georgie's life and relationships, with more character storylines yet to be resolved. Another Young Sheldon character confirmed to be returning in upcoming Georgie and Mandy episode. A familiar face from Young Sheldon is returning in an upcoming episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The spin-off, focused on Montana Jordan and Emily Osment's titular duo, has already brought back key Young Sheldon characters. The likes of Zoe Perry, Annie Potts, and Reagan Reverd have all reprised their respective roles as Mary, Meemaw, and Missy. But the multicam sitcom has also brought back some of the more frequent recurring actors that audiences know well, including Dale, Craig T. Nelson, and Pastor Jeff, Matt Hobby. TV Line confirms that the trend will continue when Georgie and Mandy returns to CBS on Thursday, January 30th at 8 p.m. In the return episode, titled Diet Crap, Sarah Baker will reprise her role as the Medford High librarian Ms. Hutchins. Based on the logline, which is included below, there will be some tension between Osment and Jordan's characters. Tensions rise when Georgie intrudes on Mandy's new sales gig. Meanwhile, Audrey's conflicted when Jim makes it a point not to coddle Connor. Young Sheldon Sarah Baker reprises her recurring role as Medford High librarian Ms. Hutchins. What Ms. Hutchins' return means for Georgie and Mandy. Baker appeared in a total of 14 episodes of Young Sheldon and made a guest appearance in every season of the single-cam comedy. As the librarian at Medford High, Hutchins is one of the few staff members at the high school who is actually fond of Sheldon. In one of the episodes, she is severely injured after being tackled on the field and the Coopers take her in. Hutchins stays with the Coopers in the Young Sheldon Season 3 episode A Couple Bruised Ribs and a Cereal Box Ghost Detector. Ian Armitage has not reprised his role as Sheldon Cooper for Georgie and Mandy just yet, but it is likely that Hutchins will impart a bit of wisdom on Georgie and potentially offer assistance during his squabble with Mandy. When she was staying with the Coopers, she got through to Sheldon and she may do the same for his older brother. Our take on Baker's return. The spin-off, from creators Chuck Lorre, Stephen Molaro, and Steve Holland, has built up a great Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage cast that also includes Rachel Bay Jones, Will Sasso, Dougie Baldwin, and Jesse Press. But with Baker, they're bringing in a pro of TV that has a variety of credits from Big Little Lies to Modern Family. She could go on to recur on the multicam hit, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. Do George and Coach Wilkins reunite? Explored. 5 biggest Georgie and Mandy's first marriage questions that need answers in 2025. The pilot season of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage has received mixed reviews, but addressing a select few storylines will make the second half better. The sitcom has already made a name for itself aside from being a spin-off set up by the Young Sheldon finale, but not always for good. The cast of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage have all portrayed their roles perfectly, but many characters currently offer more questions than answers. Ahead of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Episode 8, the show needs to decide which characters to highlight in upcoming episodes. While it has both the Cooper family and the McAllisters at its disposal, the short episode format makes it difficult to include multiple storylines at once. Consequently, even if multiple characters are present, there isn't enough time to focus on each of them. Still, there are key issues Georgie, Montana Jordan, and Mandy, Emily Osment, should focus on upon their return, while Mary, Zoe Perry, Missy, Reagan Reverd, and Meemaw, Annie Potts, have all appeared multiple times in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The boy genius is nowhere to be seen. It makes sense to an extent, given Ian Armitage's Sheldon is in California during the events of the show, but his absence is still palpable. It would be impossible to have an entry in the Big Bang Theory franchise without the centerpiece, Sheldon, showing up. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage insults Sheldon with its next returning young Sheldon character. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is bringing back an unexpected character from young Sheldon, and their return is insulting to Sheldon. As such, a return episode for Sheldon in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is an inevitability. There are many ways to explain Sheldon's appearance, ranging from a simple explanation like him coming home for spring break to a convoluted plot that requires him to come to Texas. Since Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is a sitcom, it increases the suspension of disbelief for plotlines, meaning audiences will likely accept whatever reason they come up with. Missy was already entering her teenage rebellion by the end of young Sheldon, but her behavior has only grown more reckless with time, especially after George's death. The first time Georgie and Mandy's first marriage viewers see Missy, she's calling from school due to a suspension. Missy pulls a fire alarm to avoid a test, but her actions stem from a deeper pain. Missy's appearance in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 2 highlights how her grief is fueling her disobedience. At present, Missy doesn't have a strong enough support system to heal. She begins to open up to Mandy over the phone, only for Mandy to hang up on her when Georgie walks in the front door. The only Cooper daughter eventually finds catharsis by speaking to her late father's grave, but it only opens up more wounds that she'd been hiding. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage needs to give Georgie's sister the help she needs. Isabel May's stint as Veronica Duncan in Young Sheldon may have only lasted 2 seasons, but her character left a lasting impression. Her role was so memorable that there was an initial Young Sheldon theory that Veronica would be Georgie's first wife. The bad girl turned devout Christian seemed like a true match for Georgie, but the two never got a chance to act on their obvious feelings for each other. Young Sheldon ended with Season 7 despite its popularity. Months after its finale, CBS offers a sneak peek at what Season 8 would have looked like. Veronica's exit from Young Sheldon, however, was a sudden disappearance. There was no explanation offered by the show, and the character is never so much as mentioned again until a flashback in the series finale. Veronica has always been an unresolved part of Georgie's life, so Georgie and Mandy's first marriage should bring that storyline closure. Whether it be Georgie offhandedly mentioning where she vanished or her reappearing to complicate his marriage, Veronica deserves a proper send-off. From the very first scene of the series premiere, the 6:10 to Lubbock, it was clear that Rachel Bay Jones's Audrey is the villain of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. She makes no attempt to hide her dislike of Georgie and freely judges her daughter's choices with a patronizing smile. Though Audrey has her daughter's best interest at heart.